G'day, welcome in. My name is Venus. I have decided to stop hiding. That's my message, but also the message that I'm getting for a collective of people. And I just decided to start doing these readings publicly because I can. And it feels like somebody out there, this is for you. You've reached out through space-time, through the ether, and just gone, Venus, just tell me the things that you see. So instead of just sitting on my awarenesses and having my own process, I will start to share these, and if there's an interest, I can start doing them in more detail. But I just wanted to acknowledge whoever does find this, you are probably somebody, and also, obviously, as they all say in these types of readings, take what resonates, leave the rest. Like, really, if it doesn't match you, just click on, move on. No need to try and make it fit, yeah? But if this is for you, you might have been someone who has come through a pretty heavy period of reflection, self-reflection, self-work, like more so than usual. Like, you're the kind of person that's always really doing their work. However, it's been an acceleration. It's been maybe even a stack or a back-to-back Dark Night of the Soul montage for you. You've been doing squats in the dark. And the message was that the Great Spirit has been preparing you for something bigger, beyond a reality and a non-reality that you may not have even really known consciously that you are asking for. And in order to have that, to be that and embody that and start to actually live that, it's like your life has had to do a complete cleanup, a reset, a declutter, and I mean across the board. Your relationships, your finances, your physical body, how you see yourself in the world, how you interact with others, how much energy you give away, who and what gets to stay as you mutate into this out of caterpillar goop and unfurling your lustrous wings to the new wind that is arriving, all this kind of stuff. You may have felt really alone at certain points in your process, and it could have been pretty crushing to see that a lot of people didn't show up for you. And then the ones that did, maybe you've come to find that it's been a little difficult for you to receive completely. And yeah, okay, silver linings, always that, some of us are learning how to receive more when we need help, ask for help, to reach out, to not completely just go into our caves and figure it out ourselves and that sort of thing. But then also too, discovering that boundaries are really needed. Discernment, awareness, choice, asking questions of, whether or not this person, even in all of their well-meaningness, is actually correct energetically. Not do I like them and, oh, that's sweet and generous of spirit of them, because we can acknowledge that, right? But is this actually in alignment to me? Because you're going through a period of extreme acceleration and initiation, being propelled into the life that is aligned to the mission between you and the Great Spirit. And only you know that. And I think you know that. That's what all of this shenanigans is. People are going to come along that look like they fit the bill, but actually on closer energetic quantum inspection, it's not necessarily correct. And that can be a little heartbreaking sometimes too, because these people could be our friends, our family, people that have been near and dear, but there's just something about where they're at that is interfering with where you are at. If you're in such a sensitive place and space and moment in your life's trajectory and evolution, there needs to be even more, in my opinion, even more awareness around whether or not the people around you are correct. And let me tell you, you probably can relate to this. When you call boundaries on even well-meaning people, they can sometimes respond with anger, or instead of respectfully accepting that, they'll come and push back with either victim, narcissist traits, help me out, I'm suffering. And the part of you might lean towards that because you're kind and you're a good human and you want to help the people through their things. Or any other kind of variation of that. It could be, but they helped me before, or they are they're a sweet person, or I probably should, or you feel like you owe them, or isn't that just what you do? Like all of these judgments of self and things like that allow you to allow them to push past your edges that are actually not true for you, that culminates, and that starts to create you behaving in a way that may not totally be true. It could lead to some bitterness because you're not honoring what is actually right and true for you, and so on and so forth, right? So I feel like you're refining in the fire right now, and that North Star of yours, that thing that you must do in the world, it is pushing forward through the dark earth and out into the surface, and it does not want to be ignored anymore. Can you feel me? You know that thing? You know that thing. It doesn't want to be disregarded or set second best, and it's coming about in a time of such intensity. If you're a sensitive, highly sensitive person, empathic, if you relate to being one of those, a kind of sensitive person, psychic, you'll probably attest to feeling a lot in the space around you, and then also not being able to deny anymore. So it's like the energies around us are taking no prisoners. It's like choose or die, create or die, snap, snap, let's go, chop, chop. We have no time left. The space is now. Like, get in or be left behind. No pressure. Just this sort of cosmic, sacred urgency. If you relate to that, let me know, because I know that it's not always easy. However, this deeper desire, this calling, the thing that you feel like you've probably been placed here to do, you can't not do that. You realize that now. And if you've been wondering if you should or shouldn't, start to give some like genuine, authentic attention to that, to really sit with that and bring energy into it and love it and nurture it. This is your freaking confirmation, because it's not going to go away. It is life force. It is the creator speaking through you. It is your dance. It is your mambo with the forces. And we need that. I listened to another creator. She's an opera singer, and she was saying that what if you learn that you're a bird who has never been able to, who didn't know they had wings? Like, what if it could save your life? And that really struck a chord in me, because we put off so many things, don't we? Like, I put off the things that I want to do the most, my writing. Because I'm so busy with all this other invention stuff and, client work, helping people out and doing healings and, just putting together pitch decks and proposing to people these, and they're all very, in my opinion, they're good ideas and they can really contribute to the collective and so on and so forth. But what's that thing that speaks through you, Dr. Dane said once, and it really stuck in my mind, what's the thing that you do with the greatest of ease, that you would do without getting paid for it? Because that's the thing that's probably going to bring the most prosperity and abundance and joy into your life. And often we just disregard that. So all of that to say, I get that this turbulence and unrest and movement, this agitation of the field, is to get you to sit with that and just be brutal and honest with yourself. Like, what moves me? What makes me feel connected to the spirit, or whatever you call it? What is that thing? Because what else matters? And it might be something that you've, I don't know, you were like, oh, I'll do that later when I have X amount of space, time, or money. But how do you know how many days you've got? We don't, right? It's this thing. I feel like life is shifting everything out of the way, so that you can no longer be bound by false senses of safety. A false sense of safety in how much you have, how much you don't have, who's with you, who's not with you. Just these polarizing identities that need a particular configuration in order to let you be you. Which, let's just be honest, is bullshit, right? Like, who gets to cage and define an infinite being, an eternal being? Like, it's kind of what? When you actually sit with it, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. Abundance is our birthright. We get to have support no matter how many shady family members or people in our community want to betray, backstab, or tarnish our names, defame our character, all that shit, right? If that's been happening with you in your life, it is a revelation. These are the end times of a certain version of you that is leaving. If you got crucified and you got left for dead and you felt left out in the cold, yeah, understandable. Because where you're going, most of those people who are trying to put you into a place that they can keep you recognizable in your limitation, so-called, quote, air quotes, they're not coming with. I've been saying this for years. Who's getting on the spaceship? You know? Who's coming? What's your North Star? You know, and can you have that clarity around that? Like, what happens when one individual makes the choice? That's fearsome to the realm, to the matrix, to this system that binds and captures people's attention, so much so that years can go by and they've just never worked on that thing. You have a blueprint placed in your heart, and this reality will fight tooth and nail to keep you from visiting that secret place and opening your hands to that, receiving that through your heart, and saying yes to it, and saying yes to it every freaking day. Why? Because somebody who has gone there, has gone through the tribulations to receive that, has sifted through the mire of their mental landscape and their inherited programming and decluttered the places that have spikes and booby traps. And some of them are placed there by versions of ourselves, so they become illusions and delusions and separations and rejections. They come in all different kinds of forms and formats. They've gone through that or are going through that. This builds a type of person that can withstand any motherfucking storm that comes at them. It means that you've sat with your grief and it didn't kill you. It felt like it. It might have felt like it at the time, but it didn't. Realizing things about people that they would never be able to receive about themselves. And then recognizing that they couldn't receive it, so not even trying to share it with them. Saying, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for seeing that I have the strength and the power and the potency to actually walk myself with you through this, whatever you call this. What is this? Because why? Because I am the sun. Because it radiates through my core, through my being, because I am a piece of that. I am a slice of the pie, the celebratory cheesecake. I am part of a greater body of work that is the light moving through all of us, through all shadows, through all confusion, through every single threshold and gate that we must pass, false and otherwise, self-created or created by a greater, mechanism in this reality. It doesn't matter. If you walk with the Spirit, you get to have access to those blueprints. So where is life asking you to go into your garden? Because I saw it as a garden. I saw it as this place that we go and rest with our being. We come out of our stories, although they're included, and we're not bypassing any of that. We're actually sitting there. Everything is included. Even the things that you think are complaints included. Even the things that you feel like you should be over by now because blah, blah, blah. Everything's included, and you get to rest in that garden. And in that garden, you get to call upon the version of you that has that already. How many parallels do you live in, multidimensional, kaleidoscopic, infinite, unfathomable being that you are? Would you like to visit this space, this pool of just everythingness and draw from it from time to time? Or would you just like to stubbornly think that it's just you and your brain and you and your one identity? I don't think so. I think you're past that. Now, will you let yourself be supported by something as vast as the botanical gardens of the God? Would you like that? It's time, isn't it? You've been through it. You lived through it. You survived, Just exhale for a moment. what is being revealed and what can you ask for when you enter into that secret chamber, that place. You get to ask for anything, yeah? It's not just the thing that you think that you want, but a reality that you haven't even contemplated before, for you, for everyone, for this new earth, whatever it is that's calling to you. You live in this garden. You are that abundance. And this is a calling to step now, to step beyond. I don't think that you are designed to keep carrying over any identities that have already shifted away. Like, the vibe that I get is there is a new opportunity coming in, and you might have sensed this. Maybe you might have been having dreams about it, or just, I don't know, seeing signs and wonders and that kind of thing. Because you had the courage to end certain things, it leaves space open for what is more grounded. You know, it's like, it feels like a more mature way of receiving. Because maybe you've been broken down so much, you've had to really question what were your methods and your ways. And you've got more mental clarity now, thankfully. How does it get any better? And you're not as attached to certain things, which may have appeared as a sense of aloofness or loneliness or floating or where the fuck do I belong? But actually you have more space, and your world is adjusting to what that's like, to being someone who doesn't carry as many people or things or stories or ideas about the self over. So something new is coming in. Things that were corrupted are being corrected. You're not trying to work with people who don't receive you. There's like this, I see this wheel. The wheel is moving now. Something has gone click, you know, and it's starting. It may not be full throttle, and you don't want that because you're still tender and you're still catching up to your own changes. But there is progress here. There's progress here, even in the aloneness, even in the confusion or the curiosity of where do I belong? Who am I now? You know? There's also a lot of information coming in around finances. It's like, whatever that big idea is of yours, you can do it. You can do it. It's there. There's so much more support for you. And that makes me really excited, because I feel like these are part of the rewards of going through and battling the final boss. Although, is there ever a final boss? You've got support. What is that big idea? And as cheesy as it sounds, I need you to start dreaming that. There is something about this vital contribution that you are, that it will not only contribute to everybody else, but it's going to bring out more of you that you've never dared to have before, but you've always had it there, and it's part of your frustration. Like, you really just want to fully express that, fully, freely, you know, and even if other people see you as like slightly insane or moderately unhinged, there's something about it that will give you joy. Like, for real, for real. Joy. What happened to that kind of joy, that quiet joy that comes from being in the uniqueness of you? It's not an ego thing. It's not like trying. It's just part of your natural setup. And the other message that I was getting was, you're being delivered. There's a deliverance factor. Wherever there's been meddling spirits, entities, and attachments, things that have come along the bloodline, I see you. I see that you have done a lot of your work around that. There may be some that still have found some back doors in the spirit. They might have attached themselves to certain behavior that hasn't quite moved itself out of your reality. I'm also here for that. I can help you help them to leave, to move on, to be set free. So if that's something that you want to do, just reach out. But otherwise, give it to God, give it to the Great Spirit. Let yourself be surrounded and supported, and know that you're the one with the body. So you get to stay. I believe Shannon O'Hara in Access told me that. If you have a body, you get to call the shots. When you enter a room, you get to say who stays or leaves in the energies, right? So just remember that. Pop that in your toolkit whenever you sense a bit of a disturbance in the force. And I'll leave it there, but I just wanted to send this out there as a kind of signal. May this find whoever really has struggled or, has been through some serious shifts and changes. Keep your boundaries. Don't feel bad or guilty for it afterwards. Acknowledge that you're on a mission. You're on this mission. And all of that comes with reward and compensation. Not that you did it for that, but I'm just telling you from the other side, things start to move once you're through that. And if you need any support, I'm there with you. I won't make you just immediately go into the love and light aspect, because that's just there anyways. But it's all the sticky stuff, the difficult stuff, the hard stuff, it's all included, okay? And it's not judged in this space. I'm proud of you for getting your ass through that. It's no joke. I get you. I hope you have a wonderful day and you get to spend some time outside and go sit on a rock or something simple and magic and start to acknowledge what that blueprint is in your heart. Because I'm right there with you. And if you do have a dream and you do have something that you've been wanting to, activate, I would love to hear about that. Drop it in the comments below. And yeah, let's start to build each other's dreams together. If you want to, you don't have to leave that there. I understand that sometimes that can dilute it, but you may just say that you are claiming that now. And that's good enough too. Claim it now so things can start to move and change to make that a reality. I love you. I will talk to you soon. Peace.